Welcome to night 52 of History Bedtime Stories. In bed, in our pajamas. Have you ever wondered why Michigan's called the Wolverine state? It's our official state sort of nickname, but it's not our official state mammal. That's the white-tailed deer. And in fact, how we became the Wolverines is something that historians are still discussing. There's four good possibilities for why Michiganders are called Wolverines. The first has to do with the fact that there were just a lot of Wolverines in Michigan during colonial times from the 1700s to the 1800s. However, this is not true. There were never huge amounts of living Wolverines in the state. But what there was lots of Wolverine pelts. Hunters and trappers who had trapped the animals farther north would come down to Sault Ste. Marie to sell the pelts. Because they were selling them in Michigan, they were marked as Michigan Wolverine pelts, and perhaps the name stuck from the meat markets and from the furriers. There's also a theory that Native Americans, the First Nations people and tribes that controlled the territory that would go on to become the territory of Michigan and later the state of Michigan, referred to the European colonization of Michigan as Wolverine attacks. This idea that the colonists left no meat on the bone, they ate everything, they took it all, and they were ferocious in their attacks. Third, there's this feeling that it might have actually come from a war against Ohio. In 1835, we go to war with Ohio over the disputed Toledo Strip. During that war, both Michigan and Ohio march militias to Toledo, but a shot is never fired. They basically hurl insults at each other across the battlefield for an entire summer, and it's said that Ohioans called Michiganders dirty, stinking Wolverines, ferocious in their attack, small, deadly, and absolutely terrifying. Michiganders were like, yeah, we'll be Wolverines, that's pretty cool, and ran with the title. Lastly, well, it's a bar story. And most history at some point goes to a bar. For this story, they go to Ten Eyck's Pub, which was located just outside Detroit in what is now the suburb of Dearborn. It was said that Ten Eyck served wolf steak. It wasn't actual wolf, it was mutton or lamb, but it was sort of part of his spiel that come to my tavern and I will feed you wolf steak. Because he was on the route out of Detroit, he got wagons and wagons and wagon loads of travelers every single day looking for a supper, and he would serve these wolf steaks. It's said that one woman exclaimed, "Have I really eaten wolf?" And Ten Eyck said, "Of course you have, young lady." And she said, "Well, then I guess I'm a Wolverine, one of the only natural animals to be able to kill and eat a wolf." And all of the young men in the bar, hoping to impress this young lady, were like, also a Wolverine? Yes, very much a Wolverine. I too am a Wolverine, pretty young lass. It's said that the term Michigan Wolverines actually starts there, with boys trying to impress a pretty girl at a bar. Wolverines. The University of Michigan picked the Wolverine as their mascot almost 180 years ago, and to this day it remains the University of Michigan Fighting Wolverines. Only once did they try to have two live Wolverines on the sidelines of a football game. That went terrible, and ever since they've remained Wolverine in name, not an actual living animal. Today, other than at the Detroit Zoo, there are no reported living Wolverines in the wilderness of the Wolverine state. I hope you're enjoying History Bedtime Stories. Don't forget to give us a like and a share, and if you do, we'll enter you into a contest to win tons of cool Detroit stickers. Wash your hands.